Back in 2014, this happened. I was living on the East Coast. Go figure. That's where all the hauntings happen. I was living on the East Coast in this little neighborhood, a lot of forest, a lot of trees. Maybe every house was 200 feet, let's say. So house, you know. I lived in a college town. A lot of the students, let's say, a lot of deaths of the college students revolved around this train area. So every day I would hear the train. Anyway, I don't think that's important until near the end. There were these college kids living in our neighborhood. That's okay, whatever, we're used to it. There was this blonde, and she was like a jogger. She would jog around our neighborhood. Cute, right? So we would see her in the mornings, jogging, acting normal. She would jog maybe 4 to 5 times a day. And it would progressively get scarier. So in our neighborhood, we're like a circle. We're like a huge circle. Between that circle is like a forest. So we can't see past houses. Does that make sense? So she would jog the circle. It's about a 3-mile circle if you jog it like around. Then we started noticing weird behaviors, okay? And eventually myself, I called the cops on her because I was so petrified of her. Now, when I tell you, like, you've seen people jogging, like, she was not out of breath or anything, and she would jog for hours. And, you know, let's say this happened on a Wednesday night, and I'm like, Mom, this woman is outside jogging again. My mom's like, oh, that's weird. I mean, she jogs a lot, like abnormally a lot. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why. And all of a sudden, she's jogging by our house. Jog. Stops. Turns around as fast as she can and looks directly at the window we were standing at. Like, it's like she heard us. Our window was not open. She was so far away from us, there was no way she could have heard what we were saying. But yeah, jog, deadpan, stops, stares at us in our souls. And I was like, how does she know? I'm getting scared, to be honest with you. So anyway, this was in the middle of the night. We shut the light off in my room. And yeah, I don't know how she knew, but she knew. And we both, my mom and I, we both like dropped to the floor because it was weird. Like, how did she hear that? And so then I get up from the crouched position and she's closer to our house. And so I'm like, Mom, she's closer to our house. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, girl, she's closer to our house. Oh my God. And so anyway, maybe like 3 minutes goes by. She starts jogging again in the other direction. So she's jogging towards our house, even closer than she was. And I'm like, Mom, she's getting closer. And the woman stops, stares at our house for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then jogs away. Okay, let's say 2 days go by, and she's jogging again. But out of schedule, okay? This is not her scheduled jog, okay? We know her scheduled jogs. And again, it's in the middle of the night, really sketchy. You could be hit by a car, but girlfriend, she does not care. So anyway, this girl, she is sprinting as fast as she can, right? And so she's sprinting as fast as she can, and I'm like, Mom, she's going real hard today. She stops again. Deadpan. Turns around, looks at our house, and I'm like, this is weird. And my mom's like, it's getting weird, honey. And I'm like, yeah, what do we do? So I'm trying not to make it as creepy as it is, but you know, when you feel like she shouldn't be able to hear you, but she hears you, it's a red flag. Anyway, so that night, it progressively gets scarier and scarier. She started going into our next door neighbor's house, which we could see their house. There weren't trees blocking their house, so we could easily see them. And she literally stopped at their house, did the same thing, and walked in their yard and did weird things. I don't know. I don't really remember what she did, but she was not supposed to be on their property. Then all of a sudden, we talk about her again. I'm like, Mom, she's in their yard. And she stops, turns around, looks me dead in my eyes, and she bolts into the forest. Remember how I said we were living in a neighborhood with a huge circle, and in that circle it's forest and woods? That's where she bolted to. Weird. What are you doing, girl? I'm actually getting really scared. I'm like sweating. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to do, but this girl may be possessed. Now, if you are anyone who has been in a weird, haunting, you don't like to talk about your stories. I don't like to talk about the stories, but girl, for the sake of Halloween, I will talk about the story. I have a lot of stories, which I will be talking about because I'm coming out with a Halloween EP. But anyway, let's get back in the story. But yeah, she bolts into the woods. We don't see her for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Girl is gone. Girl is just gone. We don't know where she is. 20 minutes to 30 minutes go by. And she's back to jogging on the pavement where we can see her. And so, you know, our lights are off in the house. Well, where we are in the specific room, doors shut. There's no light where you can see us, okay? And so we see her again. And I'm like, Mom, I'm getting weird vibes from her. And so I say this, and I kid you not, this college chick, blonde, tall, and skinny, looks at me deadpan every time I talked about her. She knew what I was saying. She could hear me through like walls and shit. Like our windows were not open, nothing was going on, but she heard me for sure. 100% she heard me. And she just stopped and stared there. So I don't do that. I don't deal with that, right? So I was standing at the window and I crouched down. I crouched down like that. And I'm like, Mom, I'm calling the cops. And I was like, Mom, I'm calling the cops. That was not the first time I called the cops. No, I called the cops on a deranged skunk because I was like, oh, I think I might have rabies. Let's call the cops. Anyway, we called the cops on this like paranormal activity stuff. So my mom, she doesn't want to deal with the cops, right? So she tells the cops that our address is our neighbor's address, the people next door to us, okay? And so we say our address is their address. Cops are gonna take a while, we know this. They're gonna take about an hour, not max, minimum, girl, minimum. So anyway, my father goes over there to our neighbor's house and talks to them about this girl. And they notice the same stuff. We are not crazy, I promise. We were not crazy. We all saw this girl. Even our neighbors talked about it. My father warned them. He was like, you know, cops are gonna be coming to your house because this girl is not okay. She was in the woods and now she's back, but she's acting weird. And they're like, yeah, we noticed she was in our yard. Why is she in your yard? You didn't call the cops? Anyway. So let's say the cops finally come. They get to our neighbor's house because, homegirl, we don't want them coming to our house. And so, you know, they talk to the cops. The cops are searching for her. They don't know where she is. No one knows where this blonde girl is. And she's always jogging. She's always running. Where is she? She was just running. So the cops are looking for her in our neighborhood. And it takes them about maybe 40 minutes. They're looking for this girl. And they're literally like right out, they're like near the stop sign, like in between my house and our neighbor's house. And so all of a sudden, they're like gonna give up. But then this girl walks out of the woods right to the cops. But she comes with a group of dudes. I've never seen those dudes in my life. Where the hell did they come from? And so anyway, they talk to the girl. We don't know what they're saying because we're watching outside of our window like, what's going on? My father goes out there and he's like, what happened, dude? And he was like, you know, those were her roommates and they said she's been acting strange and we have seen this before. And they said, we don't know what is going on, but they think she's homesick. I've been homesick before, and I'm not doing all that. Homesick? I should have called the priest or something. That was not homesick. That was not the first occurrence of a supernatural story that has happened in that neighborhood. And the reason I brought up the train many a times is because there have been, sadly, college students in that area who have died, you know, and there's a, you know, a history with that, with people dying near the train or because of the train, or they get hit by it's a weird situation, and we live very close to the train. And so I don't know if you guys know about portals, but there's always been a portal in that neighborhood where weird things would happen. Like we would see unexplainable things. I will tell you guys in another story time if you want. But just, it always felt off there at night. It always had to do with running. It always had to do with, I'm getting out of breath because I'm actually scared. But there's been weirder cases of things that we have seen. My mom, my sister, and I, we all have seen, and it's unexplainable. It's completely unexplainable. Like if you ever feel like you're being watched in your house but no one's there, someone's there. Someone is there, but you just can't see them. Like just unexplainable things, like weird things. I'm not gonna get into it because that's for another day, another video, but I will tell you this. My EP is coming out September 1st. Pre-save, please, or remember, just remember, darling, remember. And I worked so hard on this project. I poured my creepy little heart into it. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think about the story. If you guys think she just lost her mind. But how did she know? How did she know we talked about her? Why would she go up to their house? Why would she hide in the woods? I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe if you want any more anyway. Like, comment, subscribe if you want any more true stories, scary edition. Remember, everything I'm saying is true in these videos from experience. I was there, girl, I was there. But anyway, yes, let me know, and I love you. Bye. Wait, hold on. I love you.